Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program, and this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate. And it does it with Barb Schlinker, the owner and proprietor of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, I know many people ask you questions when they're getting ready to sell their homes. So, what are the top frequently asked questions home sellers should be asking before they put their home up for sale?
Well, Richard, I did some research on this and it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of generic questions, but I know the questions I'm getting asked. So here's the story. We're no longer in a massive real estate boom like we were in 2021 and the beginning of 2022. And I don't know that that will ever happen again in our lifetimes. It could be that if the Fed lowers the rates next year, if they do 4 corrections and maybe drop it down to 6%, it could kick the market back up. But we're right now with the average days on market at 45 days, the typical even or balanced market versus neither party has an advantage is probably where we're seeing an average of 90 days to sell a home. And just so you know, that's a lot of pain for most home sellers. They are expecting this thing to happen pretty quick once they put their house on the market. However, with 24% less buyers out there that can afford homes, we're going to see fewer showings, less activity, and you have to price it right to get them in the door for them to feel the love, just like you do. And so it's more of a seller's market right now, but only if you price it right, you prepare it right, and you hire the right agent to promote it right. I just met with a seller last night where when I saw it was listed with somebody else, when I saw how it was presented to market, I was like, oh no, this house isn't worth what they're asking. But then when I got out to the home and looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really nice. It's just not presented the proper way. So sometimes it's marketing, sometimes it's price, sometimes it's both. So you have to make sure that you position the home to get the most money. Now, some people plan on getting the most money based on how much they want to put in their pocket when they move on to their next destination. And if I could do that every time, it would be a really easy job. But it's no longer the market where anybody with a pulse could sell homes and get them done. With a third of them not selling, you have to understand the market, know what needs to be done before you put the house on the market to make sure it's positioned to get top dollar. And we do this multiple times a week, every single week for our clients. We actually come out, we take a grand tour of your home. We give you tips on what to do, what not to do to get the house ready for sale. We'll go over all the closing costs and give you a really good idea on what your home will sell for and how much you put in your pocket when it sells. We do this all the time. And it's kind of, so the next question that we get, and we get this often on our website, is how much is my home worth? So I can't tell sometimes from looking at the history of the property. Sometimes it takes physically going and putting eyes on the property to see that, because you can't rely on Zillow. Pricing it right is a critical decision, and Zillow is not the company that decides what your home is worth. I know most of the public will go to Zillow and go, oh, they say my house is worth X. But you have to keep in mind that Zillow lost over $1 billion relying on their online quote algorithm, which is some sort of calculation of what they think a home is worth. And then they went and took that information and made these really high offers to sellers at the time. And then they tried to flip the homes and they lost over $1 billion. I remember going on a couple of appointments with clients where they said, hey, Zillow offered me this much. And I looked at them and said, you should take it, because I knew the market was not going to give them more. So, and that it came true. I don't know many businesses that could stay in business and lose $1 billion, but I would just not rely on their advice. That's a big thing. So figuring out what your home is worth, it involves a lot of things. Some homes have not been listed on while we had internet presence. You know, they might have been owned for a long time. We can't tell from just looking at the internet what kind of improvements that you've done to your home. Some of those really do add value. So we need to see that, put eyes on it, and find a way to promote it so that you get top dollar. And so that's one of the critical questions. And the way we figured that out, it starts with trying to compare apples to apples. That's what an appraiser does. Okay. But we're also looking at what the market's doing right now. And you have to position the home to attract the buyers in this current market. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. Another question that we get all the time is, how long will it take to sell my home? Well, first of all, people don't realize that if a third of the homes are selling, the ones that you're seeing that are the average days on market are only for the 2/3 of the homes that are selling. The rest of them are not, and they could take a lot longer. And it's all about seeing what the market reaction is. If you put your house on the market and it's sitting there week after week after week, and you don't do anything about it, you're probably going to get the same outcome, and it's not going to sell, right? And it'll sit on the market for a long time and it'll get stale. The other piece of that that's really critical is that all these tech companies like Zillow and Realtor.com, they will put the data up there for the world to see forever, right? So they'll say, oh yeah, you used to price it here, and this is how much you lowered the price. We can't get rid of that data, even though there's this industry norm and standard that, oh, if you take your house off the market for 30 days, the days on market will stop counting. No, it won't. It's up on Zillow, it's up on Realtor.com. You can't get away from it. So the buyers are pretty savvy. They can see the history. They can see everything about the home if they're interested in it by looking at it online. That's why the online presentation has to be perfect. And then once you go on the market's going to tell you if you missed on the price. If you're getting no showings, we're way, way off. We're way too high. If you're getting onesies, twosies showings, you're still very high, probably 3 to 5%. If you're getting showings and no offers, like plenty, I've got one listing like that right now, and it's not price in that case, it's condition. But sometimes it's price. Like I had one that we were getting showings and we were getting low ball offers. And he goes, no, I don't want that. And I said, maybe it's just a little tweak. And all we did was change the price 5,000 and boom, it sold for full price. So you have to react to the market and test the market to attract buyers to want to come to the home. The other question that's really, really important is about staging. So why is staging important? And there's a lot of weird perceptions out there about what staging is. To me, staging is a big, broad category about presenting the home to the market so that the buyer can visualize themselves there, right? And so it could mean bringing in furniture, although we're doing less and less of that. It could mean decluttering. It could mean digitally staging, which is one of the services that we offer. But at the end of the day, I've talked to buyers. When I showed them pictures of cluttered rooms, they'll say, I'm not even going to look at that house. I'm not even going to drive by. If they don't care enough to clean up their home and make it look neat and tidy enough for me to come see it, I'm not even going to waste my gas money to check that out, because they can't. There's a certain amount of buyers that cannot look past that. So that's why it's so critical. And even the national stats indicate that home sellers can get as much as 3% more selling their home if they're properly presented to the market, i.e. staged. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb has the buyer's team. I've been here in the real estate business since 1996, been around for a while. And right now we're talking about the top questions that most home sellers ask when they're getting ready to sell their home. And we're going to talk about a few more when we come back from the break. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call. We can handle homes in any market. And you can call us at 719-301-3900, or you can go to barbhasthebuyers.com. I have over 27,686 buyers that have given me their contact information just on my little website looking for homes. So there's a pretty good chance I could find 100 buyers that might be a good match for your home. So give us a call if you'd like a free in-home consultation. If you're thinking of move in the next 2 to 6 months, we'd love to help you get started. Call us at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing the top questions that a home seller should ask when they're getting ready to sell their home. Everyone knows that I've been recommending you for years, the highest recommendation I can to my friends and to people on the radio. Tell us, what are some of the key questions a home seller should ask from a real estate agent?
Well, we have actually a great report that you can get on our website, or you can just call us and we'll mail it to you. It's entitled The 10 Questions You Must Ask Before You Hire a Real Estate Agent. And it highlights all the hard questions. You know, some of these agents don't want to answer these questions. Questions like, how many homes have you sold? How many homes have you sold around here? What's your average list price to sales price? If they don't have good answers or any answers for these, I keep looking. So that's one thing that you can get for free on our website, barbhasthebuyers.com. You click on the green button and there are all our free reports right there. Here's an example. This is one question that puts agents kind of in the hot seat, and it's sort of fun for me. What is your commission? Now, I always know if it's a very, bottom line kind of direct person, if that's the first question that they ask. Now, a lot of people assume that all real estate agents are the same and they all charge the same. Well, that's actually illegal. We can't do that. There's something called the antitrust law that doesn't allow us to do that. But the decision to hire an agent should not solely be based on the commission. What it should be based on is really, what is that person going to do for me to help me reach my goal, which is to sell my home, presumably for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. If you've got an agent that picks up their smartphone and takes some happy snaps of your home and still charges you a high commission, that's not doing you any good. So you want to see what they have to offer and make a really logical decision about not just commission, but how much money they're going to get you. That's a big question. Another question that I get is, how do I choose the right agent to handle the sale? So the stats are, in this whole Front Range area, 81% of all area real estate agents sell 3 or less homes a year. You can make more working at Target or McDonald's or someplace like that. I hate to say it, it kind of breaks my heart. However, the problem is that the industry isn't really very good at teaching agents on the things that you would think they would know how to do: marketing, handling objections, negotiating, providing great customer service, and getting to the finish line. They just don't know how to do it. In fact, you wouldn't believe how many people of my clients tell me, hey, I saw him on the Ring camera where the agent was talking smack about my house to the buyer. Why are they doing that? Aren't they supposed to be selling it? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that goes on. So it's really good to hire an agent that knows how to do this. Another really, really important question is, should I sign a long-term agreement? So here's a news flash. A lot of people don't realize that in the state of Colorado, we have to use the state forms, but there's nothing in the state forms that talks about what the agent is going to do to accomplish your goal. It's all very, okay, I'm going to put it in the MLS and I'm going to not expose your secrets, but there's nothing about marketing in there other than the MLS. There's no real detail. So you can fire an agent if you think that they're not performing according to what they have promised, but many times they don't put it in writing. So that's a very good question. Can I cancel if I'm not satisfied with you? There is a cancellation clause built into the contract, but it's kind of subjective, and some agents will try to hold you to the agreement, which I don't think is a very good business relationship. You want raving fans. We want raving fans. And that's why we offer our 6 satisfaction guarantees: communication guarantee, honest promises guarantee, reality-based selling price, reality-based timetable, and also, all these different guarantees that we offer that you can tell us to go home if you're not happy, because we want raving fans. And Another question that we get all the time is, do I have to leave for showings? Do I have to leave for the inspection? I've actually had inspectors kick my clients out of their own homes, which is, I don't know about you, Richard, but that would not go well with me. What do you think?
Would not go well with me or with anyone I know.
Yeah, exactly. So you control all this stuff. And that's part of what we help you do. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She's the host of the program. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. And if you want a free report, the top 10 questions to ask before you hire a real estate agent, visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Go to the green button that'll be in the upper right corner. It says free report. You'll be good to go. Short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing, how do I know if my agent is doing a good job on trying to sell my home? Stay tuned for that.